Today is August 24th, 2025, and this is a weekly update on the ongoing war between Israel and the Hamas terror organization in the Gaza Strip, as well as against other terrorist entities around the Middle East. Shalom, my friends. It's Akiva Gersh with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. Just yesterday, unfortunately, a young IDF soldier fell in the Gaza Strip. It was not in battle. Unfortunately, it was an operation that went awry. There was an operational mistake and an explosive went off. And this young soldier, 20 years old, died as a result, reminding us of the danger of this war, not only in battle, but just having our soldiers having to fight this fight and be in place, always ready to fight this fight against their enemies, against terrorists who continue to try to harm Israelis, both soldiers and civilians. Almost 2 years into this war, and Hamas is refusing to lay down their arms, to surrender, to release the hostages, and to allow all the people in this region to go forward towards rebuilding their lives. For an enemy, for one side of a war to surrender is not an unprecedented thing. It happens all the time in war. Yet Hamas is functioning from a very, very different mindset, one that is fueled by its radical Islamist, fundamentalist, jihadist theology. And therefore, for them, giving up, laying down their arms, surrendering is not an option. They'll fight literally until the last tooth of their last soldier. And that's what makes this war so difficult. Israel does not want a long war, has never wanted such a long war. This, as I've said before in previous weeks, is Israel's longest war ever, and definitely its most intense war. And that's because we're fighting against not only a terrorist organization, but against a terrorist theology. And that, again, is what makes this war so long and so difficult to fight, even though Hamas has been effectively weakened to the point where it can no longer be the kind of threat it was before October 7th. But of course, this war cannot end until they're fully out of power, out of control, and the hostages have been released. And that's what has been going on in terms of the negotiations. Israel said no to the last deal, which talked about a partial release of hostages. Netanyahu, backed by his government and backed by many civilians here in Israel. Despite what you might be seeing with the protests, the hostages forum itself that represents the families of the hostages, they themselves said that the government should not agree to a partial deal, that all the hostages need to be released at once. And that is part of the reason why the government said no to the partial deal and is moving forward with its military plans to basically conquer Gaza City, with a greater goal of taking over the entire Gaza Strip. Most of the Gaza Strip is under Israeli control already, but taking over Gaza City will be a major, major step forward in the takeover of the entire Gaza Strip. And that is what is happening right now. Tens of thousands of Israeli reservists have been called up. Many friends of mine already have been giving their date, whether that's in 1 week or 2 weeks or in a few weeks, when they are told to report for active duty once again in this war. And that, again, is because of the new phase about to be unfolded with the taking over Gaza City, with the eventual taking over of the entire Gaza Strip. In other news, once again, the terrorist organization in Yemen, the Houthis, launched another rocket at Israel over Shabbat. It was taken out over the skies of Tel Aviv, sending hundreds of thousands, if not a couple of million Israelis into the bomb shelters over Shabbat, reminding Israel that the threat from Yemen is not done. And the threat from Yemen is really a threat from Iran, because they're the ones fueling them, funding them, giving them these missiles, and telling them basically what to do. On the horizon, right, is a potential war, again, another round of war with Iran. And there's a lot of talk about that, both from Israeli sources as well as Iranian sources. So we don't know if, we don't know when, but it won't be a surprise if there is another round of fighting against Iran to take out the head of the snake that has been fueling, funding, supporting, and encouraging all of these different terrorist entities around the Middle East to attack and to harm Israel. Those are updates for this week. As always, thank you for your support, your prayers, and your thoughts for the soldiers and the hostages. We pray for the soldiers' safety and the return already quickly now for the hostages in a deal that provides long-lasting peace and security for the people and nation of Israel. All the best, my friends, and be well.